Growth hack your brand and then destroy anything that moves.
You need to grind hustle your platform manifest.
It's all about entropy, elegance, and finance. Blockchain.
Invest in real estate every day.
Invest in meal estate every morning.
You need to mind hack the mind shackles that are grabbing your mind. Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a day. Eat the man who just fished and you'll eat for a lifetime.
Spartans!
Business.
Money hacks. Hi everybody, I'm Bridge Stewart.
And I'm Dustin Taylor Hahn, and this is Business Money Hacks.
This is Money Hacks.
Remix.
Redux.
The Redux, the Reawakening.
It's the reinvention.
We've been gone for quite a while, and we want to not apologize. What is an apology that it just isn't?
It's more of a statement or a demand, I guess.
We want to make a formal demand that we've been gone for a while.
Yeah, we're just going to demand that you listen to what we have to say. And we're going to demand that we've been gone for a while.
When I was 16, I got my driver's license. I hit a family and killed one of the daughters in a car accident. And
wow.
I said, I'm so demanding of you to...
You demanded an apology from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said
because you weren't going to give an apology.
No. Well, I can't. That was the first rule in business, is never apologized about anything ever.
Yeah.
So instead, turn your apology into an angry statement about what you need.
A belligerent demand. And that's what you did. You got out of the car and just started demanding things from them as they were mourning the loss of their daughter.
Right. I know that was a whole other lifetime.
Well, speaking of lifetime, so much has changed since our last episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's... Wow. We're living in a whole new world, mm-hmm. It feels like.
It feels like a brighter future than...
Oh, yeah.
Than just about a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was really getting weird. It was getting dark. There was a lot of social issues going on around the country.
Yeah, all the
business
social issues, yeah.
You said it like that.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Is there a specific group of people you're talking to? When
all these groups. Ugh. Well, anyway, I feel like we're in a better place, a lot more clear-headed, mm-hmm. honestly. And yeah, I think, like you said, it's bright, it's glowing. It feels like the future is kind of like on fire. It's so bright.
Yeah, it's just like a flash in the pan. We're looking directly into the sun as a species, and it's burning our eyeballs, so we don't need to see anymore. It's like...
Feels like a lava bath.
It feels like a Greek myth where it's like, you've been blinded so much with the pressures of society that now you can see even clearer.
Yeah, it's like you saw something so radiant and beautiful that you literally had to like stab your eyeballs out because of how great it was. That's my goal eventually, is to see something so wonderful I have to remove my eyeballs.
Well, that does lead into kind of what we were talking about before we started recording. I haven't seen you in quite a while, Bridge, and it's been hard to get in touch with you. So
no, life's been great. Mm-hmm. I've been doing all sorts of stuff. I've always do the diet stuff. I'm always on different diets and stuff, and ultimately,
eating disorders and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say
it's
healthy diets that have contributed to my longevity. I'm probably going to be living a lot longer than you are because of these diets that I've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
and also the blood that you take.
The blood I take,
the plasma,
the blood I need. There's been so much. I was sort of on this diet where I was kind of just eating. It was mostly yogurt. It was just cold, ice cold yogurt, freezing yogurt. And
it's the culture that I heard yogurt was good for you.
Yeah. They say it's gut health, and when you eat it frozen, it freezes the bacteria. You don't want bacteria in your body. That's rule number one. The yogurt apparently kills that, and the yogurt apparently kills that. And then it was the yogurt mixed with. I was on this kind of cocktail of steroids that was I was feeling the effects of that.
Right.
I was having trouble urinating for one, but beyond that, I was on this cocktail of steroids. I was doing these blood transfusions, different animals, different lizards, sort of blood transfusion.
Trying it out.
Just trying it out. Gecko Blood. That that
What did
helped.
that do to you?
It was going great with
Yeah.
the Gecko Blood. I feel like it was wild. I felt like I could kind of like see in the dark.
Really? You had sort of a form of night vision.
Yeah, because
I thought you figured. Yeah.
You know, I'd wander into the woods at night and sort of test it out, see if I could see out there.
Yeah.
And I think I could see better.
You think you could?
Well, I believe I could, and if you believe, you can. But okay, so there is a problem though. After getting this Gecko Blood transfusion, I went to a farmer's market, one of these farmers markets that they have, and
In where was that?
this was the Bay Area. I went to this farmer's market.
See,
in
when
the
you
Bay
say,
Area.
the way you're saying Bay Area is the same way you were saying these groups earlier. Like this, you're saying it the same way.
It's the Bay Area. We get it. We get it. You have a statement to make, Bay Area. Anyway, I was in the Bay Area, and I went to this farmer's market, and I said, I'm going to try something a little new. And so I got a tall glass of apple cider. And I took a sip, and about a few minutes later, I was having a seizure on the ground. And I think the problem was the apple cider. I think that's what caused me to have this colossal seizure.
You were taking lizard transfusions for several weeks prior.
Yes.
Thinking you could see in the dark, believing you can see in the dark,
And it was
feeling the effects of just eating frozen yogurt.
Yeah, the yogurt and lizard blood
diet. Yeah. So you were on that, and then you had a glass of apple cider, and
it was the apple cider that got me. Yeah, because the other stuff was healthy. The apple cider, the amount of sugar in apple cider, give me a break.
Yeah.
And who knows what these San Francisco people are putting in this stuff. I mean, they put on all this organic crap into this juice. Who knows what's in that? It probably is filled with bacteria.
and rhetoric
and statements and
agenda.
Yeah, they've got a whole cider agenda that are putting forth. And
you made a mistake. You had the apple cider at a seemingly fine farmer's market in San Francisco, and then you just passed out.
Yeah, at a farmer's market in San Francisco. I passed out, had a seizure, and then proceeded to have about 3 to 4 strokes. And it was tough. I was on life support for a while. I woke up about a month later.
Oh, so you were in a coma.
I was in a coma.
that counts as a coma.
That's a coma. I was in a coma for about a month, and I said, man, I don't feel very good. How do I get past this stage? And the doctors are like, well, it's going to take quite...
And the doctor...
And the doctors, these medical professionals from San Francisco, they've got their agenda as well. And... yeah, I mean, as we all know, these doctors have this agenda, and they said, "Well, it's going to take a while to rebuild yourself." I said, "I don't have time for that. How can I just speed this along? Because I feel bad now. I don't want to feel bad right now." They're like, "Well, there's nothing you can do. I mean,
you just have to rest,
you have to rest." I said,
just in a coma, yeah.
"Screw you." Called up some of my friends. They recommended this guy in the Eastern Bloc. Who said, "Hey, I'll put you in a coma for 3 months."
You put you back into
Put me back into the coma because I don't want to deal with this headache right now. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And so I flew out to the Eastern Bloc, and he put me into another coma,
medically induced coma
in Eastern Europe, and I woke up from that, proceeded to have about 3 more strokes. And but at least I'm feeling better, So
that was those 5 strokes you've had.
I've had
in the
about
past
5 to 6 strokes.
Yeah.
So
are you still on the lizard blood now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's giving you this advice?
Oh, I've
Your
got
dietitian.
sources.
We do have an episode. We have an episode, a lost episode that we found in the archive that we will be putting out next after this one, with Bridges' dietitian.
Yeah, that's a great episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't nearly as strong as I am now.
Yeah.
Well, on my right side. back then because like my left side, it like doesn't work right now. It's sort of just like numb.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's
like the left side of your body is completely slouched.
Yeah, because I can't feel anything over there. That's a stroke thing. And so that left side, I don't know how quickly that's going to be coming back. It might not, but that's fine.
Do you think that it was the apple cider that did that?
Absolutely, it was the apple cider. The apple cider gave me the strokes. And the Gecko Blood was the only thing keeping me alive. Thank God. Thank God I was taking the Gecko Blood.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be dead. I'd be dead if I wasn't on the Gecko Blood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, my right side, I'm shredded.
You're looking good. You're looking very good. I know you're starting a new fitness plan. You're putting out there.
Yeah, I'm taking HGH. I'm taking growth hormones. I'm trying to get ripped on my right side. My left side, that's sort of that's sunk cost at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at right now.
I mean, your right side you look like Hercules right now.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just like really fit, really
Chiseled.
ripped. Chiseled.
It's chiseled.
You
and
have
it's not like
you have 3-pack abs.
Yeah, I know. It's like I look really strong.
Yeah.
On my right side. Left side,
not as much. Well, some would say you're half a man, but because your right side is so strong, like almost makes up for that second half.
Oh, for sure. And with the lizard blood, I mean, nothing can stop me.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully
nothing will stop me. I'd rip apart a man limb from limb if I could use my left hand. But how have you been, Doug? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so when you had left to San Francisco, you were in a dizzy, and I said, when am I going to ever see you again? And then you shut the door, and I was like, oh, I guess Bridge is out in one of his benders, which it was.
Yeah, one of those Gecko Blood benders that I go on.
I decided to find myself again, and I decided I am not just a corporate head to a major pharmaceutical company. I am also an artist. And I need to tell stories. First, I was going to write a memoir, and then I forgot. The letters get jumbled up when I look at them.
It's like dyslexia, right?
No, it's not dyslexia. When I look at words, they get jumbled up.
The letters just start
moving around. And some of them morph into different visions of. Yeah, my father. I know you don't want me to say it, but yeah, I see that.
The letters turn into your father. When you read things,
mostly the letter A, that's the first one, and then
it's a very strong letter. Too.
Yeah, it looks like my father's head profile.
Arguably the greatest letter.
Or the letter G looks like his profile. The letter A looks like when he's looking right at me. It's just staring at capital.
That would probably be. Yeah, that would be. I'd imagine that would be pretty distracting if you're trying to read and your father just kept coming out of the letters.
Yeah, so that's why I stopped driving also because there's the
too many signs.
Yeah. So I decided I was going to be, instead of writing, I would become a documentarian.
You're a storyteller.
I'm a storyteller. So I found a couple kids at Cal Arts, these like filmmakers, college students. They were looking for credit. Took these kids out to a couple islands around the Indian Ocean. We flew out to the Andaman Islands, and there's a little island called North Sentinel Island, which is inhabited by a tribe.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's they're cannibals. They will attack you on sight with their spears.
An uncontacted
tribe. I had to hire a boat because there's a lot of policing out there too. They really don't want you to come out to the island.
Yeah,
they're fascinating people. Honestly,
wow.
Yeah. I consider myself sort of a Jane Goodall type, but with
she studied chimps.
So I took a career out there, and that's what I've been doing for the past few months.
Wow!
It's been
quite they embraced you on the island. Like I said, you were saying they're an aggressive people, but they took to you.
They are aggressive, and they were very aggressive when we showed up ashore. And the two, Derek and Annie, they thought that they were just going to do like a 5-minute piece on me in California. This little documentary, and I flew them out here.
Instead, took them on a plane and said, "We're going."
Yeah,
that must have been exciting.
It was exciting for them. They were fearful.
College students, and it might have opened their eyes too after all the indoctrination they've got going on at their college, their university, all that, everything they get told, all those lessons that they get from their professors. Oh, that's crap.
Yeah. So I went to the island and they attacked us immediately, but I brought a gun with me.
Oh, you brought a gun?
Yep.
Okay, well.
And what are you going to do against a pistol? You know, no one had even thought of that. What if you just bring a gun?
Oh, so you just sort of brought a gun
to the island.
That's... Yeah, I bet the Indian government definitely doesn't want people doing that.
I mean, they weren't there. They don't like to go there.
And so you showed up.
Show up
to the beach, clutching a pistol.
I showed up to the beach in a little dinghy, and they started running towards us.
Two terrified college students behind you, holding a pistol.
I pulled out a pistol from my bag, and I shot the closest thing.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
You just shot a person when they walked up to you.
Well, they ran up to me. They were attacking me. I was defending myself.
So you, I mean,
I was standing my ground. I was standing my ground. I mean,
you're standing your ground.
Yeah, I was on the beach.
Acceptable.
They were in the wooded area. They were running towards the beach, trying to attack me. And I shot what I found out later was the chieftain of the island.
That's great.
They never heard a sound that loud, I guess. It was just a big boom.
Just a loud noise.
Noise.
Their leader is dead.
Yeah. And they had spent the rest of that afternoon and basically the rest of my trip just calling me Wakointa. Wakointa, they would scream, Wakointa, Wakointa, which I think loosely translates to God of the Undead. They would bring me flowers.
Oh, wow.
They would bring me fruits. A nice little vacation. It was a fun trip.
So you blended in with these people.
I learned about their
culture. You're kind of like Anthony Bourdain.
I mean, yeah. This was the documentary is. We're still in the editing process, and I do need to find another couple college kids to edit the video because Derek and Annie are no longer working on the project.
They're not part of the project anymore.
They ran off, and then some of the other tribes folk followed them. I don't know what happened to them.
Chickened out a little bit.
They chickened out. They were fearful of what I was doing, what the indigenous folk on the island were doing. They were trying to call their families, their parents, trying to call the college. I said, no, don't.
Yeah, they don't.
I went on a bit of a rant.
They don't build college students like they used to. But I still like college students.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go around the college and sort of just, check out the sites. But they aren't as strong as they used to be. They aren't as strong as
they were very weak-willed, delicate.
Yeah, delicate.
What are you implying, Bridge?
They just aren't as strong as they used to be. But still delicate. And like a flower. Who doesn't like to go to a nursery and gawk at the flowers? Just stare at them.
Yeah, just look at them.
Just
glare.
Sit in a chair and stare at the flowers.
You were trying to be a dean of a college at one point. I do remember that.
I tried to buy up the college, and I was telling them, "Hey, we need to teach these kids one thing, but also I just want to look at these kids,
see what they're up to,
see what they're up to." Exactly.
Yeah.
I like
make sure they're learning.
I like looking at the kids. Anyway,
So what was I saying? Yeah, so Derek and Annie, they're not working on the project.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of calling it?
Oh, the documentary?
Yeah.
Something that the God of North Sentinel Island, or
what about like Brave New World?
The Brave New World. That's isn't that I think that's a TV. That was a TV show.
I don't think so.
So the documentary was. I had to take over all the camera work and the audio, so it was a bit hard for me because I had to hold the camera in one hand and my gun in the other hand.
So you're just walking around this island with a camera and a gun aimed at the villagers, essentially.
Basically, it just resorted me to demand them to tell me what their culture was like. This is me holding the camera going, tell me about your culture, or I'll shoot you.
Okay, and they probably don't understand what you're saying.
No, but they did know what the big boom meant.
Well, that sounds great. I mean, that sounds like a real eye-opening experience that I think everyone can sort of, relate to.
I don't know much about the film world, but I'm hoping to get this into the film festivals and do that whole circuit.
Oh boy!
Get into Tribeca,
the festival circuit. Yeah,
I
don't know if it'll fit their criteria of what they're looking for in these festivals, but I think either way, I think it'll be a very entertaining thing.
I want to educate. You might be getting onto something with the whole college thing. They're not really educating the public at this point.
No, they're not.
They're just catering, kowtowing to whatever flippant ideas.
The movement of the week. Whoever screams the loudest, they tend to pay attention to that and say, oh, that's the most important. Oh, we need to teach our kids that. And then within a week, it's not only irrelevant, it's apparently offensive. So it's just a rat eating its own tail.
It seems like post seizure, you sound like you're very angry.
I'm tired of this stuff. Hopefully, we're all going to be putting a stop to it.
Yeah. I mean, if only we could just live on our own islands and just have our own island. We could be our own voluntary, isolated people and just be left alone outside
not have to participate in the victimization Olympics and just, say what we want to say. Say whatever
without
we
having
want
to
say.
couch
Without
it.
having to, Yeah,
so what did we want to talk about today?
I'm not exactly sure. How about a return to form?
A return to form.
When it comes to business, you got to always have a return to form, and that's definitely what we've done with me becoming stronger and more vocally stronger and being more willing to say what I want to say about certain things. And you making this, to be honest, pretty insane documentary from what it sounds like.
I felt like I've found myself while making this documentary about me basically threatening an innocent tribe of indigenous
nobody's
people.
Innocent.
A return to innocence.
You can never return to innocence. We are all guilty, and we will all be judged.
I know that there is one thing that you were very adamant about. Pre-coma, Bridge was very religious. You were in a coma you were in 2 comas.
Double comb.
Would you say that you still feel the same way about the universe at large?
Not really. After going into a coma, how can you, coming out the other end, how can you still believe in God after that?
So you didn't see anything on the other side?
No, it's just all black, and nothing's there. And also, why would, if God allowed that to happen to me? It's obvious like he's either a tyrant or he doesn't exist. And I think he does. He doesn't exist.
You were the most hardworking person I've ever met.
Yeah. It's an unjust world if that happens to me. And thus proves there is no God.
So you've proven there's no God because of the bad things have happened to you in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, and also when you think about it, just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. It doesn't even make sense.
Really?
You read the Bible, it doesn't even make sense, and you can barely read it. It really, you try reading it, and it's like, and then Enoch came down and took the sword, and he wanted...
And the Ewoks came.
It's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
Translated by a bunch of idiots. No, it's just black at the end of everything. So, that's the best way. That's the only religion to really believe in is
the black void.
Is the void.
Yeah, just light and dark.
Yep. Life and vibrancy and experience, and then just black nothingness for eternity.
Well, I think that's a good ending point on this episode. I know we didn't talk too much about tips on growing your business, but again, this was a sort of a stepping stone to the next episode.
Well, thank you for listening to Business Money Hacks. I'm Bridge Stewart.
I'm Dustin Taylor Hahn, and enjoy the light and the awakening as long as you can.